Hi, I'm John Peck. I'm from GitHub. I'm in developer relations. I built software for 25 years, and then I decided I like talking about software more than I liked writing it anymore because I just can't do 14-hour days anymore. Unlike y'all who are killing it. So, I'm here to tell you a little bit about where we're going. Anyone here using Copilot right now? All right. Anyone here using GitHub Models right now? No? Okay. Anyone here heard of GitHub Models yet? All right. Anyone here went to the keynote this morning? All right. So I get to show you some new information, and I get to show you cool stuff. And I get to talk closer to the mic, because it's not as sensitive as I thought, like my feelings. Okay. So first off, I get to give you the marketing speak, AI native, everything in all of our stuff, awesomeness, adding agents, etc. Okay, let's move on. All right, things you might not know. If you've been using Copilot, we are GAing the model switcher, meaning that when you're sitting here and you're coding along and you want to try using a different model, that's really small, I'm sorry, but that says O1 Preview and O1 Mini. And we're going a little further. All right, we're adding Claude from Anthropic. We're adding Gemini from Google. Good, fun stuff. You're going to be able to use those, play around with them, have Copilot utilize those different models behind the scenes. But enough about using AI to write stuff. Let's write AI. And that is where the model playground comes in. So let me start with this. I've got a simple, stupid application. You ask a developer advocate to write something about AI, and they'll write a thing that lets you talk to AI, because we're boring like that. Okay, so this is simple, whatever. I can ask it to play tic-tac-toe. I can ask it to do other things. And it will respond to me, and it will, behind the scenes, be going and calling that model. And the internet's really slow, so you won't get to see it actually call the model. That's just too bad. Oh, there we go. Now, I wanted to add model switching into that. And I wanted to be able to quickly go and just try out all these different models in my app and see how they respond differently. Did I have to go and sign up for 8 different services? No, because GitHub now does this. If I go to github.com/marketplace, you may have heard of the app marketplace, you may have heard of the actions marketplace. Now we have a models marketplace. We have stuff coming in from OpenAI, from Anthropic, from Cohere, all over the place. And you can punch into any one of these, and you can just start playing around with it. You got some information about what the model is, about the evaluation data we've generated for it, that sort of stuff, but you've also got a playground. You can drop into that, and you can directly interact with the model right here. So I can say something like, okay, I want you to create a quiz for 5th grade math. And I drop it in, and boring, it'll do it. Okay, fine. That's all right. But I want to actually be able to look at different models and see which one's better head to head. So I can go pick a compare, say, all right, I'm going to try out that against, say, Llama. Toss the same prompt into both. I can even adjust all my parameters. They'll stay in sync. Go ahead, change my temperature, that kind of stuff. Run it, and get output from the both of them right there. So I can make active decisions now about what model I think is going to be better for my business case, for my use case, right? None of this requires any other API setup, any other sign up for anything else. You have GitHub, you can generate a personal token, you can use this. Nothing else required. By the way, if you're using a code space, personal token's automatically in there, right? No setup required. Open up a code space, throw in some code, start using it. You're running a GitHub action, you want to use a model in there, same thing, personal tokens available, you don't have to do any other setup, you just go and call it. But how do I call it, you ask? So fortunately, there's documentation for all of these. I hit Get API key. By default, it says, yep, you can just use your API key from GitHub. You can pick whichever SDK you want to use.
Close, yes.
Thank you. You can pick what language you want to use, all that good stuff. We're going to give you all the code samples, etc. And I just have to drop in the one call everywhere. So to send into the code for this for 1 second, this is the only line that actually calls the client. I don't have to change it based on where I'm going, what I'm doing. So my beautiful, beautiful front end, which is a complete mess, is really nothing more than a list of here's all the models I want in the dropdown and pass the name to the back end, right? Go through and do that. When I'm ready to graduate, when I'm ready to move past just trying it out on GitHub and move it on into production, what do? All I do is I go out here, I grab an Azure API production key, I drop that into that same exact code, and I'm off to the races with a production level API call set that I can make. Very last thing for you, you will notice this nice little run code space button. I think the network's too slow here for me to actually show it to you. Yeah, but if I whack that, it'll establish a full code space for me with a ton of samples. We got Jupyter notebooks in here. We got raw code samples in a bunch of different languages. I can just go into any of these and immediately execute zero setup. So we're doing all we can to get you to the point where you can try out as many models as you want to, as fast as you want to with no barriers. That's it. I'm out. If you want to hear more about it, talk to me about your use case. I'll be hanging out. Thank you.